For the town of Lac-Mégantic, the cool, clear waters of the lake are vital. The lake serves as their recreational playground, a magnet for tourists and sportsmen. As you can see, it's a really beautiful lake. It's actually crystal clear water. 4 months after the disaster, there are still initiatives in place to make sure that this beautiful environment is not further contaminated. It was all threatened when nearly 6 million liters of light crude spilled out from the derailed tanker cars, destroying the downtown core. So what used to be here was the center of Lac-Mégantic, the heart of the town. There were homes, there were businesses, there was a popular musique cafe. If you could picture a river of oil that was on fire, that flowed down from here and came down into the lake, that's what happened that night. The burning oil flowed everywhere. It engulfed homes, cars, and cascaded into storm drains, causing powerful underground explosions that sent flames shooting from manholes and even a fish ladder into the nearby Chaudière River. We're looking at the Chaudière River now and standing on the bridge that the train would have gone over. The Chaudière River feeds out of Lac-Mégantic, goes all the way down to the St. Lawrence River. When the disaster occurred, oil spilled into the lake and the river, traveled about 120 kilometers downstream. The spill prompted a massive cleanup effort. Within hours, dozens of specialists descended on the area, testing the air, taking water samples, stopping the flow of oil through the ground and on the water. At its peak, more than 700 people were on the ground, and the cleanup effort was costing as much as $7 million a week. They set up a series of booms. Some of the booms are actually still in place now to catch any remaining contamination. In the impact zone and surrounding areas, soil has been deeply contaminated. Since September, thousands of dump truck loads of sick earth have been brought to a wide expanse of land next to a particle board factory 2 kilometers from downtown. The once forested ground has been raised, made into a layer cake of protective measures, an impermeable membrane underneath an impenetrable cloth reinforcement underneath asphalt. 3 platforms have been built to contain the soil. It will sit here while officials decide how the soil will be decontaminated. The Quebec government issued a call for tenders last month. The recuperation of oil from the water and soil is ongoing. Vacuum trucks continue to soak up the oil on the lake and the river. Meanwhile, cleanup crews have prepared for winter snow and spring's rainfall. That precipitation will provoke contaminants left by the oil to move anew through the soil and underground infrastructure. They have rigged up a drainage and collection system that will draw all of the water running through the contaminated zones to a massive basin. It's basically a reservoir that's going to collect all of the water that runs through the contaminated site. It's about 4 to 5 meters deep. The water is going to be treated here on site, and then it's going to, once experts deem it ready, it's going to be released back into the environment. Much remains unknown about the future of Lac-Mégantic's downtown. Buildings in the southern part may still have to be destroyed because of oil contamination. The area known as the Red Zone remains cut off to the public. The empty streets, appearing otherwise normal, are eerily deserted. Guy owns a shoe and clothing store that sits on Rue Frontenac. The store's basement flooded with 4 feet of oily water. He isn't sure he'll go back to his old store, even if the building can be saved. Amongst some residents, there's a stigma attached to the downtown, even to his old stock.
People ask me, in your new store, will you have new stock? There won't be the old stock, clothes, old shoes. Psychologically, some people are apprehensive.
In late November, crews were putting the final sections of track back in place, reconnecting a line that is vital to the local economy. Soon, trains will pass through once more. For thestar.com, I'm Wendy Gillis.